Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had so many questions. How do we record an episode? Where do we find background music? How do we get our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? And where do we find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. Anchor makes it simple to get up and running. You can upload and schedule your podcasts ahead of time. It publishes to all the major podcast platforms. You can easily check your stats. I could go on, but instead, why don't you go and get started? Go to anchor.fm/start to join the e-commerce minute and a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
It's the E-commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-commerce Minute, episode 266.
In today's episode, Kroger rolls out driverless grocery.
Grocery chain Kroger is partnering with autonomous car company Nuro to introduce driverless cars to its grocery delivery. The partnership is another solution to a difficult problem in the grocery business, the last mile delivery, that final step in getting the product into the customers' homes. Nuro, formed in 2013 by former Google engineers, is an autonomous car company built explicitly for the business of transporting goods. Its cars are slimmer and designed differently than ones meant to carry people. Nuro does not yet have special refrigerated cars, but is working on a new iteration vehicles with such technology. In the early stages of the rollout, shoppers will need to schedule windows of delivery in advance. But Dave Ferguson, Nuro's co-founder, said he envisions a longer-term model through which shoppers order more on demand. Nuro also plans partnerships with other retailers besides Kroger, which it may build via revenue sharing. Driverless grocery is still a fairly new concept, and the Kroger partnership will face a number of uncertainties. It will take time to build out the infrastructure necessary to support it at scale. Planning for expansion is difficult because it's hard to predict the demographics across the U.S. in 10 or 20 years. And markets across the country vary drastically in when, what, and how frequently they order their groceries. There's also the basic problem of needing to have someone at the delivery point, as the delivery car won't be able to bring the groceries into the home. And with any autonomous vehicle, there are safety and legal issues, like the inevitable accidents that may occur. Nuro's Dave Ferguson said, "It's our responsibility to make sure those vehicles are safe and safely navigating the roads." The Kroger and Nuro partnership will begin this fall.
Whoa. This thing looks like a shelf with wheels.
So we're going to put a picture on our website, ecommerceminute.co. Imagine a slim kind of Volkswagen-looking vehicle, very rounded, with windows and a bunch of shelves.
This is a cool car, though.
It's really cool. There's another company, Robomart, that's doing the same thing. Their Robomart's a little bit different in that they're basically like, remember we did, oh my God, like a year or so ago, we did that thing that just rums around. It's a giant store that you walk into. This is a scaled down version of that, where it just drives around and you could stop it and order something. Again, it's all done via apps. But what Kroger's doing, it's basically you go online, you order your groceries, and then this little vehicle comes putting down the street, pulls up to your house. I don't know if he beeps or sends an alarm. Probably sends a notification to your app. You come outside, you unload your groceries, and you send the little guy back on his way.
So you made that sound like that's how it's actually going to be. In my mind, yeah, pretty much. In my mind was more like this. It shoots around a corner, comes over, and blows an air horn.
Yeah. I love these concepts, but I always try to picture myself as the end consumer. I can't imagine this thing pulling up to my house, because if it pulled up to my house, I'd have to walk all the way out to the street and bring all my groceries up. It's not making it easier for me. It's not really, besides delivering, it's not really making it easy for me. And how about you? You're in an apartment building. You'd still have to, like you got Kroger brings the Kroger robots out on the street. You're trying to unload the things. People are bothering you, trying to steal your groceries, and then you still gotta take the groceries up 5 flights of stairs.
Yeah, I get my stuff delivered to my door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why is like Postmates?
Well,
I think this is going to work in a certain area. I don't think this is going to be one of those things you're just going to see everywhere.
You're going to see this in McMansion world, basically.
And where?
Like McMansions, like,
Oh, yeah.
Where cul-de-sacs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Nice and neat urban, suburban developments where the roads are clear, the sidewalks are clear, and this little guy can make his way through. You're not going to see it in New York City. You're not going to see it where I live.
I can imagine on your street, and I know how your street is on like a Saturday afternoon in a nice day.
So the reason they're doing this is it's to save on labor costs. You know, I don't know. But again, the driverless delivery, they're trying to, that the last mile problem that we always talk about, reduce costs, meet convenience-seeking customers wherever they are, blah, 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 blah. I just think this is a little bit of a stretch. Again, not from the concept of loading an autonomous vehicle up with product and shipping it somewhere. It's the actual getting it into the door, because not everybody, it's not everybody has a driveway you can pull up to. Not everybody has, you'd have to navigate sets of steps to get to my front door. So this thing is never going to get to my front door. So it wouldn't work for me, but some people it might work for.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you got other problems like traffic, parking, permit logistics, customer service issues, restocking, scalability, speed. The things only go 25 miles an hour. So it's like, where's my order? Oh, it's out in the hot sun, putting along. It doesn't have any refrigeration. That'll be there soon though.
People crashing into it, all those things.
Well, and I think it's going to take a long time for the world to get used to drones and robots driving along the street, because what's the first impulse when you see something that's just kind of like, driverless? You want to, if you're a younger person, you're going to want to go up and mess with it, right? Am I right?
Always.
Yeah. There'll be graffiti on the side. No, but seriously, there's things like that. I think everybody lives in this little San Francisco world where it's like, oh yeah, man, it's like, we're in Silicon Valley, man. We got robots delivering our stuff. The rest of the world isn't like that. I think it's going to take a long time for us to get there. Got anything else?
That's it.
All right. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media @Sumo Heavy.